everyone present over here, respected judges, dignitaries of the dais, my fellow paper presenters, and my most praiseworthy audience. I am Sai Charan, presently doing my industrial training in Indian Oil Corporation Limited, stand before you to make everyone aware of the recent changes in Companies Act 2013. I would like to thank Guwahati branch of ICAI for conducting this one-day seminar and making each and everyone aware of many important things which a student must be really aware of. Now, before starting my presentation today, I would like to say a very important thing to everyone present over here. Most of you might know it or may not be knowing it, but as a CS student, it becomes my responsibility to share this thing. I am sharing it in the form of a question. Are you ready for the question?
Yes.
Thank you. So the question is it important for a professional student or a professional like CA to keep themselves updated with the changes in law and taxation system? Raise your hands if you feel yes.
Definitely yes.
Okay, that's a great response. Of course, yes. We watch budget sessions to keep ourselves updated with the direct tax system. Income tax and GST are the two most prominent areas where we work upon. So almost everyone gets updated on it from time to time. But what I feel is amendments in Companies Act are only taken care of in case of exams. Once you read in CA Inter and then again finally in CA Final. The reason behind ICAI introducing the practical assessment test PAT level 1 and level 2 for articleship students is also the same. That is to remove the void between CA Inter and CA Final. While preparing the presentation, I found one interesting thing which I thought I really need to share it with my audience. Companies Act 2013 is the only act which is common in CA Foundation, Inter and Final syllabus. That itself shows us the importance of this act. So let's get started. I will just brief upon the recent changes in 2021 and new things brought into the system by Companies Act 2013 with major focus on Companies Amendment Bill 2020. Part 1. Recent changes in 2021. Change number 1. Establishing Central Scrutiny Center, CSC. The central government established a CSC for carrying out scrutiny of straight-through processes, STP e-forms. These are the e-forms which we file on behalf of the companies, filed by the companies under this Act. Change number 2. Schedule 5 changes. Under Part 2, under the heading Remuneration, there is a Table A which gives us the limit of remuneration according to the effective capital of the company. This table has been substituted with this following table. Change number 3. Conversion of OPC, one-person company. This is a very important change. Government has given relaxation to OPC for its conversion into public or private company. Earlier rule was minimum 2 years should have been expired from the date of incorporation except when the paid up share capital has been exceeded more than 50 lakhs or the average annual turnover exceeded 2 crores in those 2 years. But now the rule is it can be directly converted into a public or private company according to the limit of its members or the directors by maintaining the minimum paid up capital as required. Along with that, OPC can also file e-form INC 6 for its conversion. Change number 4, which is a major one, Companies Corporate Social Responsibility Policy Amendment Rules 2021. Under this subpart 1, CSR implementation, CG has prescribed a set of companies under which a company can undertake CSR activities. For example, Section 8 company or a registered public trust. Subpart 2, filing of forms. From 1st April 2021, companies have to file form CSR1 for undertaking any kind of CSR activity, and this has to be signed and verified by a CA or CS or CMA in practice. After filing this, a unique CSR registration number shall be generated. Subpart 3, regarding CSR committee. CG has prescribed the modalities regarding how a CSR committee should formulate an action plan and perform. Change number 4. Company has to disclose the following 3 items on their website: composition of the CSR committee, CSR policy, and the projects approved by the board on their website for the public access. 5th, the major one under the heading CSR. Under this, the administrative overheads shouldn't cross 5% of total CSR expenditure in a financial year. Second one, an important one: setting of excess expenditure which is spent over the requirement. That means they can set off this expenditure in the immediately succeeding 3 financial years. Then the third one, surplus arising out of CSR activities shouldn't be taken into normal profit. They should be plugged back into the same project, or they can be transferred into the unspent CSR account or any kind of fund which is mentioned under Schedule 7. Now, we enter into part 2, Companies Amendment Bill 2020. Under this, the first major change regarding rectification of name. If a company has been registered with a registered trademark of a proprietor which is too identical or resembles with an existing trademark, then the company has to change its name according to the directions given by central government. Now, within 3 months, but earlier it has been 6 months. Change number 2, beneficial shareholding. If a person holds beneficial shareholding of more than 10% in any company or exercises significant influence, then he has to file a declaration of his interest to the company. Change number 3, exemption from filing resolutions from filing MGT 14 has also been extended to registered NBFC and HFCs. Change number 4, which is a very important one under CSR again, the bill exempts companies with CSR liability of up to 50 lakh from setting up CSR committees. And the change number 5, which is related to changes to offences. Under this, there are 3 major changes. First change, it removed penalty for certain offences. For example, it removes penalties which apply for change in the rights of a class of shareholders made in the violation of Companies Act 2013. Second, it also removed imprisonment in certain offences. For example, it removed imprisonment of 3 years applicable to a company for buying back its shares without complying Companies Act 2013. Third, reduction of fine. For example, it reduces the maximum fine for failure to file annual return with ROC from 5 lakhs to 2 lakhs. Further, under the Companies Act 2013, 1% companies or small companies are only liable up to 50% of the penalty for certain offences. So, the Companies Amendment Bill 2020 majorly focused on decriminalization of certain offences and provided greater ease of living and ease of doing business for companies and citizens as a whole. Now, before concluding my presentation, I would like to summarize the important points which I have discussed till now. Part number 1, recent changes in 2021. I have discussed about CSC, Schedule 5 changes, Table A substitution, conversion of OPC, CSR amendment rules which had 5 subparts. Part 2, Companies Amendment Bill 2020 which had rectification of a 3 months timeline instead of 6 months, declaration of beneficial interest over 10%, exemption in filing of MGT 14 for NBFCs and HFCs, changes to offences regarding removal of penalties and imprisonment and reduction of fines. So I would like to thank Companies Act 2013 app by MMJC Advisory Private Limited, which you can get on Google Play Store, and taxguru.in for the information. Because due to time constraint, I haven't discussed all the points, and then audience can get the information at these references. Thank you so much for being a great audience in the last 10 minutes. Have a nice day.